Good morning everybody, or good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this video. To start off with, coming for the morning walks in the forest. Love this place. So, mentioned to a few of you that we've just started to look for investment partners in the local cities. And as opposed to replying to everybody one-on-one, I thought I'd just make a video and just explain what it is that we're looking for and what it is we do. So let's have a quick look at my notes here. Starting from the very top, just a bit of a background. So ZAhomes is the top level, and that's me and Jacques Toy. And our primary aim there is to build a property investment company in each of the major cities across South Africa. So to start with, we've got ZAhomes and we've got Bloom Homes. Bloom Homes is our second one. So ZAhomes is currently set up. It's a business structure that's set up. 50% owned by ZAhomes and 50% by the local partners. So that's Neil and Tamron. And the same goes for Bloemfontein. Bloemfontein is currently looking to transfer over its first Airbnb unit. And the idea is the same strategy across all of the homes, is that we look primarily, first of all, towards getting an Airbnb in place that needs to produce about 2,500 to 3,000 Rand a month in terms of profit. And the reason that number comes in is those are the costs we need, to be able to cover our business costs, of banking costs, accounting costs, marketing costs, all of those kind of costs. Once we've got an Airbnb in the structure, it's kind of like self-sustaining. Then we go across, so that's kind of ZAhomes structure. Then we go across to how do we get our leads in, and we've got a system that we ran through. It comes from the Deal Finding Work Group from Dave McGlashan at the Property Academy. It's his process, his system. We've just taken it and put it a bit on steroids. And so essentially what happens is we market on Facebook. We are currently in the process of also looking at Google Ads, which will come into effect in about another 3 or 4 weeks time. And those are our marketing channels, which gets driven to a landing page, which then gets driven into a lead capturing system in the back end. So the lead arrives, someone sees our advert that we post, they fill in the form, and we have 3 forms. One is for their initial details, one is for the property details, and then one is for the financial details. And if they jump out at any point in time, the CRM system will actually notice this and then start emailing them, because we gather the email on the very, very first page. And to say, look, to help us, we need all this information. People do drop out, especially when it gets to that finance page. They'll get a bit nervous about sharing, what's your rates and taxes, levies, outstanding bond. But that's all the information we need in order to be able to make an offer. And so that's how it gets driven into that lead capture system. Currently we keep it small, advertised costs about 500 Rand a month, and it generates probably, on an average, probably about 1 or 2 leads a day. Depends on the day and the week and the time of the month that it's at. You get highs and lows. We don't want to go too high because we don't want to inundate people. We have had it in the past where it's been no leads, like for an entire week for some reason. And then the next week we've got 10 in a day. So it totally varies of, people seeing the lead advert at the right moment in time. So that is in essence how we get our leads in. We ran some scenarios up in Joburg, some A/B testing, and in Pretoria, both of which brought in quite a few leads. But of course we're not there to manage it. Hence we're looking now at a Joburg Homes and a Pretoria Homes. And we're looking to partner with people on that. So the partnership process is fairly kind of straightforward. Once we find the first Airbnb, which we do manually, there's a manual approach to finding an Airbnb. And we're working with Tanya Scott, who'll do all the setup for that. So we'll basically go through, the intellectual components of how do you find the right Airbnb. Sure. That was a bit more of a walk than what I thought. Sorry. And we'll get an Airbnb set up. And obviously the leads start then running through, start capturing them, and the local partner on the ground would then manage those leads. So from a ZAhomes perspective, we're hands off. We provide the systems and technology, but the actual running of the business to manage all those leads is done by the local partner. We also have other methods to bring it in. So we've got sourcing agents who we kind of market to and go, send your leads into this email address and it'll arrive in the system, and it can get captured and managed. So we've got sourcing agents, and then we've also got a bit of a hunting agent brief. So every single month an email gets sent out to whichever agent's been added. So from a local partnership perspective, we expect people to be adding at least one agent a week email address, which is pretty straightforward. You go to Property 24 and you add an agent email address, and then once a month that agent for the rest of days will be getting an email saying, do you have any investment properties? And the principle behind that one is, I found a place up in Hoedspruit quite coincidentally from being there over two kind of periods. The first time I was there was like nothing when I first spoke to them, and then I went back on holiday again and she went, oh yeah, I've actually got a property, but I wasn't top of mind. And so I'm realizing if you just email agents, sometimes they do get these gems in and we're top of mind for them then. So yeah, it's 50% owned by ZAhomes, 50% owned by the partner. Once we do find a property, it's surety 50-50, and it's 50-50 on the profits. We run it through, we've got the power team set up, we've got everybody we need to have involved. If needs be, I can escalate to whoever in ABSA as well for assistance with bonds. I do that quite often with getting Miguel to get it raised up to the right people, as does my what's it called, personal banker or pro bank or whatever they're called. She also got it escalated recently up to, I think it was like a national level person who was able to jump in and actually help us out. So we do have those kind of contacts and prior kind of like push with certain banks and everything else.